All right. Lay it on me.
Alrighty. So my masterminding question is, when others around you do not match your energy and they're really struggling, what do you do to reshift the focus and their energy?
Oh, that's a tough one because that takes a lot of effort and it drains you in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Quite honestly, my first choice is to remove myself from the situation, but that's not always possible.
I was going to say, well, you can't do
it. Gosh, if I can't remove myself from the situation, I like to first see why they feel that way. Like if it's an easy fix. Because generally in my house, it's lacking food, lacking drink, lacking a basic need that can be fixed very quickly.
That emotional attachment that people have no idea in reality how big of an impact it makes to food and thirst, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that's so true. I never used to believe in that until I did a fast one time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much food plays into my emotions.
Mm-hmm. Well, like my husband is diabetic. And
that's huge then.
Like I can tell you his blood sugar based on his demeanor.
Yeah. He's lucky he has you.
Because I mean, like it's a complete spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not like, like I'm a jerk about it. Like, hey, you're being an asshole, go eat something. But, it's like, I can tell like things are shifting. Let's, I think I'm going to start to make dinner now, or, I can tell like, at the end of the day, no, you have time to clean up now while I make dinner, or like, oh no, I got to make dinner immediately kind of thing. Like, so, like just watching the different things.
I think that's so true, but I think even with others, and if you think of it in that sense of other people, it's a good way to, how can I put this into words? We have to think of the different things that we provide in our love cup as food and a fuel source.
Mm-hmm.
So you saying that you can tell with his blood sugar. Well, can you tell with other people? I know I can, especially myself, because I've really have practiced focusing. Like this just happened. I was in the shower and I was off, and I'm like, come on, Jenna, what's going on this morning? What are you having too much of in your diet? Like the things that are around me and I'm listening to in those things, and what needs to get removed again? Because there's distractions. There's things that I don't typically allow going on. And then when I got out of the shower, I was like, okay, I need to be blunt with a couple people. What I did is I jumped on the text because somebody had texted me this morning with something going on. And I said, I love you, but I need to say this and get this off my chest. Mm-hmm. It's time you stop complaining about the negative. Let's focus on the good. And they were like, what do you mean? I'm just telling you what's going on. And I said, I understand that, but we need to shift. Like, we're done with that conversation. We got it out. Let's refocus. Let's reshift, But in person, it's a lot harder too, because you don't have that texting ability. So typically what I have done and what I continue to grow in the strength in doing is just bring up a different topic. Like I'll pause and get quiet because in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, just Jenna, be polite, be courteous. Like what if they're struggling with this and they really need to be heard? But then again, I'm like, okay, you have the ability to stop the conversation and redirect it. Mm-hmm. So I've like found where I'll start like looking at my fingernails and I'm like, okay, you can do this. What's something good to reshift on? And then I'll just come up with a random question to distract and redirect. but it's so different. But like you said, with your husband's blood sugar, I know, because I dated someone for many years that he was aggressive and angry and mean when his blood sugar would get low. And then when it was too high, he gets sleepy and shut down. So it's that fine teeter totter. And you have to be careful how you approach it, even in that aspect. Because you don't want to be rude. Because,
right.
I mean, sometimes really it does affect it and they don't have control over it. And that's just like life. You don't want to be rude and cut someone off, but it's like, okay, come on. We got to shift. But like you said too, just walking away sometimes is nice, but not all the time can we do that. I'm sorry, my allergies are just I just was curious what you do on that, because I have a couple friends and like acquaintances that I love them dearly, but every time that I talk to them, it gets me down that rabbit hole, because they can't meet my energy because they're stuck in the poor me. They don't want to grow. They're not ready to grow. They want to sit and dwell on it. And it's like, come on. We've been there for like 4 years. I know you got it in you. Like, let's turn it around. Let's not hit the repeat button. Let's play the what is amazing and what are you working towards goal and what are you capable of?
Yeah. And there have been some people that I've had that I've pointed that out to them, that I've said, do you realize that you always concentrate on the negative? Like, you can't say anything positive about this.
And kudos
and like then they sit there stunned. They're like, but wait, oh, and like they kind of stutter around because like they want to prove you wrong, and then they're like, oh, and then they're conscious of it.
Well, and that's that getting uncomfortable with growth. Like somebody asked me yesterday, like, how did you get your mental health on track? I said, sometimes there's really ugly moments where you have to admit that you're wrong.
Right.
And get uncomfortable and like be called out on your BS.
Yep.
To stop you dead in your tracks and be like, okay, this really needs some work.
Yes. I am going to stop the recording because we are at the